Yeah.
Oh, well, we got a good show that we reviewed today, folks.
Back in the day.
Survivor Series 2002.
At the Madison Square Garden.
The Survivor Series of all elimination matches with no elimination matches.
And
No
Saliva
Survivor
was
Series
here.
matches.
And Saliva performed the song Always.
Always.
All night.
Always.
That's our pay-per-view theme
Always.
song.
All night long.
Always going to be playing.
What was playing?
Like 7 or 8 times. Always.
Always.
Always. Always.
They always gave us-
Copyright infringement. You're doing it too well.
They always give us what we wanted the whole night. And a little sneak performance for Chris Jericho. So that was fun.
All
King
right.
of the world.
Always.
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 Dummy, yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Always. Yeah.
God damn it. Moving on. Pre-show.
William Regal and Lance Storm took on Stand Back, There's a Hurricane. And Gold Dust.
The Golden Roads.
Gold stud.
Hurricane did a clothesline and neckbreaker combo to Storm. Hurricane did a flying neckbreaker to Storm. Goldust did a really nice scoop slam to Storm.
Scoop slam.
Hurricane did a choke slam to Storm. And William Regal pretty much got Storm to roll up Hurricane.
Yeah, they out of nowhere, it was like, oh, this is good. Oh, yeah, they're hitting the moves, and they boom, match over. I'm like, oh,
So
okay.
Lance Storm
Yeah.
and William Regal win. And then randomly Tommy Dreamer came out with a kendo stick and started beating them up.
Other than the fact that he's from New York, I did not understand.
I've been so
Neither
bored
did
of. I get Tommy Dreamer can have good stories and all, but sometimes I wonder what the fuck are you doing out here?
Can I just comment
It was
on
so out of
he's-
place. Maybe it's because it was New York and it's close to Philadelphia.
Well,
he's from New York.
Well, the only thing I could think of is if they had some sort of storyline on Raw, but they never fucking explain it.
Dude, my favorite.
So
I
it's
got-
just like random Tommy Dreamer.
I gotta talk about Tommy Dreamer though, because just think about how many times he randomly shows up, or they bring him back for something and does the same shit. He's been doing it since WCW went out of business, or ECW went out of business. Like, damn, that guy's made pretty good money doing
Yeah.
Hardcore matches.
literally
it-
nothing.
and-
Like running into kendo sticks and getting put through
Yeah.
some tables.
If you take a specific crowd like the WWE crowd, and he just comes in like every we'll say once a year he makes an appearance, does his little run-ins with a kendo stick. He's not overexposed, so no wonder he gets pops. Because he's like the RKO from out of nowhere.
Well,
Well,
even
yeah,
when he
'cause-
was around, he was still getting
Because
caught.
here's the thing, Tommy Dreamer is in WWE until like 2003 here.
As a full-time guy.
Yep.
I like Tommy Dreamer until he had to bring out the puke bucket for that battle royal.
Then we didn't see him again until the ECW brand relaunched.
2005.
2000.
He was in the-
or-
he was- he was at the ECW One
Yeah,
Night
he was
Stand.
at ECW 2000, One Night Stand 2005. Then he came back for the ECW relaunch 2006 and stayed until 2009.
Poor bastard.
Then he was in the TNA Impact feud with
EV2.
EV2 and Fortune and Immortal, whatever the fuck. He was in that for a while. Then he eventually made his way back to the WWE for the feud with the Dudley Boys and Rhino versus the Wyatts.
Okay.
That,
okay.
yeah.
Then he left and came back again for Ring of Honor when he was teaming up with Bully Ray against the Briscoes.
The Tommy Dreamer podcast, everybody. Get used to it.
Then he came back again for Impact. And he's been on Impact ever since like 2018, 2019, something like that.
Yeah, he's got those polka dot tights now.
Well, he does that in honor of Dusty, which makes
Right.
sense. When Dusty passed away, he started doing the polka dots. But the thing that Tommy Dreamer does, and I've read or seen it in a podcast of his, he does say that every time he has like a marquee match, he tries to make it the last time he does a particular thing. Like, there was one time where he was like, this is the last time I'm having a match against Raven, like a singles match. Or this is the last time I'm going to be in a tag team match with Terry Funk. Or this is the last time that I'm going to be in a match with whomever. And he's stuck to all of those.
Yeah. Well, this match to me was it actually was pretty cool until the ending. I don't like the finish either. For all these guys maximized their minutes. They got in there, got their stuff in. Everybody did their specific moves or signature moves or whatever. I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 6 as well. Little man do choke slam.
Right.
Little man do choke slam.
Stand back. There's a choke slam coming through.
Rating? You said 6 rating?
6.
Yeah. There's nothing special about it, but like I said, minutes. Everybody did their thing.
Everybody did their thing.
Yep.
To me, well, except for the end, there was no
ruined,
wasted spot.
ruined my joke because little man do chokeslam is not as good as big man do chokeslam.
Well, you said it.
Oh, I'm just saying he said little man do chokeslam. Like it ruins my bit.
Oh,
But then we came.
The actual show starts.
The show starts and we go to the world.
The world.
I don't know. What was,
The world
So
starts.
Stacy Keebler.
That's,
that's
after.
That didn't happen yet.
Oh, it's after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens right after.
Oh,
the,
okay. So we got the elimination tag team table match.
Yep.
3-minute warning and Rico take on the Dudley Boys, which is Spike and Bubba Ray.
And 3-minute warning is Josie
Jeff Hardy.
and is Rosie and Jamal. That's 3-minute warning.
/ the shit superhero in training.
Yeah.
And Umaga.
Yeah.
So first things first is Hardy dove on the 3-minute warning and Spike did a Hurricane Rana to Jamal. The Dudleys do the what's up spot to Jamal. Then Bubba and Jeff do the combination of the what's up and then the leg drop to Rico. Rosie does a nice flapjack to Spike through a table. Rosie threw a broken table bit at Spike. Rosie hit Jeff, who was jumping at him. 3-minute warning, faceplant Spike through a table after reversing the Dudley dog.
That was a great. It was like a flapjack or something. It was. Ugh.
Bubba and Hardy stopped the flying 3-minute warning, which Jamal ends up doing a moonsault. Bruiser.
Bruiser.
Then Rosie grabs Jeff and just knocks him down by his hair. There's a Bubba bomb to Jamal. Jeff does a swanton to Rosie through a table off of like a little entrance ramp,
Like the barrier or
stage
something?
area.
Oh yeah, it was on the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Bubba does a top rope backdrop to Rico. Hardy does the whisper in the wind to Jamal. Jamal slams a table through Hardy, who's jumping off the barricade.
Oh yeah.
Jamal does a top rope splash to Hardy through a table. Bubba does the Dusty Rhodes elbow to Rico. Bubba does a power round to Jamal through a table off the top rope. Then Rosie decides to come back and does a belly-to-belly suplex to Bubba. Then Devon Dudley comes out without his entrance music playing, mind you.
Yay, good
Smart
run-in.
face, smart face.
Quality run-in.
Starts cleaning house. The Dudley Boys do a 3D to Rico through the table, and the Dudley Boys and Jeff Hardy get a win.
This match was fun. I loved it. It was like it had everything you think of. You got Jeff Hardy doing his crazy Daredevil shit. You had the big boys doing their freaking big boy shit. You had the. I also liked how Devon came out to even the odds and they won with the 3D. The crowd popped huge for that.
And no entrance music.
And no entrance music too. So smart face.
I love that every single table spot looked like it hurt.
I know. The one where the one where Spike got his Dudley dog reversed. That looked like it hurt because he got flapjacked by two guys face first into a table. I mean, God.
I thought
damn.
Jeff Hardy's hurt because you said jumped. He didn't jump. He tripped. He was supposed to jump and get the table thrown at him. He tripped into a table.
that off
being
the
thrown.
barrier?
Yeah, when he fell off the barrier.
Well,
He
whatever,
was trying
he
to
got-
jump off the barrier. He falls, but you don't see it as well because he literally gets a table thrown in his face.
Yeah.
That was fucking. Ooh, that was brutal. I think that's even more brutal than the Spike one.
You have
Yeah.
a flying table coming at your face, so you're
So-
throwing your
and
momentum
you're not
into
ready for it.
You're just like, whoa, 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 poof.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, I'm
Like,
already
you're-
falling, and then you got a table
throwing,
coming at
You're
you.
throwing your momentum forward, and then somebody's throwing an object at you,
Yeah.
and then you're going to go through it.
When Jamal splashed him from the top rope, that wasn't just on a table in the ring. That was on a table on the outside of the ring.
And he fucking landed on him.
And he landed it. I mean, like he didn't like just like, just graze over him and just like like carry himself forward over it. So he didn't like give him the full impact. He landed right on top of him to the ground. I mean, like that's.
That's one of those Jeff is dead moments right
Yeah.
there.
The big boy roll, it got amended. So there's a variation. Beginning of the match,
The big boy.
both of Rosie and Jamal were on the outside of the ring, and Spike Dudley came over the top and tried to do a plancha onto them, and he caught him. then Bubba takes up Jeff Hardy and throws him onto all that.
Well, no, originally Jeff and Bubba pick up Spike and throw them onto 3-minute warning.
Oh, okay.
You
So
throw
it doesn't
Spike.
count as you jumped on him. It counts as you're getting chucked into
You
him.
throw
I thought the way I remembered, I thought Spike did it on his own.
No, he threw him, and then Bubba went down,
And
and
then,
then they did poetry in motion.
yeah, Jeff
Yeah.
does poetry in motion.
And then
onto
Jeff
them.
almost kills himself on that moment because he bounces and slides off of it after they hit, and he smacks off the tables that were laying.
All right, well,
against the side of the
then
ring.
I hear 2-4 rescind my amendment then.
Can't see you fucked up, man. You should have let it happen, man.
That's okay. It's okay.
I
We
don't
gotta keep it real
want to
here.
let him fuck up on purpose.
Oh well, thanks.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, like this, like I'm halfway through. Like this is fucking entertaining as shit. Like I didn't expect anything more than what we got. I don't know what the story. I doubt there's any storylines involved in this other than maybe a skirmish or two on Raw. Nothing major. I guess the match is 7 for what it was. I thought it was fair. I thought it was fun.
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
I love this show, so that's pretty much going to be.
There's only one bad moment, and it's not really bad. It's just a nitpick on my part. Rosie, I forget who was sitting. I think it was Spike was leaning against the table in the turnbuckle, and Rosie ran at him and missed. Spike moved out of the way,
Right.
Yeah,
no-
that
he
was,
no
that was
sold the
Rosie
ch-
running at
the tail.
Spike.
and then Rosie no sold it like a second. I was like, come on, man.
Now, my other surprise, I think it was also Rosie. I can't remember, but it actually has to do with the rule that you were just talking about, the big man rule. Because I can't remember who it was that jumped off the top. He was supposed to catch him, but he dropped him, so he just splashed on him instead.
Yeah. Oh, and Jeff Hardy almost took a bad bump.
Yeah.
I mean, like when it was like early in the match. I think he overshot what he was doing, and
Jeff Hardy almost takes a bad bump every time he does anything.
I know, but it looked like his neck could have been wrenched pretty good on the barrier, or there was tables lying on the outside at the time.
And the worst bump in the two worst bumps in the night are later in the show.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio takes one. I know
Yeah,
that.
that one and the Triple H
Oh yeah. Oh.
accident.
Yeah, this match was fun. Really, like at the end was great. Crowd popped. Yeah, 7. Yeah, it's fine.
7.5.
7.5.
Now we have-
Then we have the world. We go to the world.
So Stacey,
0 out of 10.
Oh,
Well, Stacey gave it 10 out of 10. This segment, 0 out of 10.
Stacey Keibler is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this segment's 0 out of 10.
Well, yeah,
10 out of
what-
10 agreements on Stacey Keibler.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so Stacey
When do we
Keibler.
ever rate a segment?
I'm just saying that's how much I don't like this segment. I don't think they need to do it.
The world is
Always.
a restaurant slash bar slash nightclub, which is in Times Square. And
So that's failure and went out of business.
oh,
That's true.
how long was it in business?
I mean, when
Like
did they shut it down?
2 years total.
All right, well, good for them. So Stacey Keibler is on stage and she has the crowd behind her, and she talks about her testicles, which is her legions of fans.
Which is not even her Legion
It's
of Fans.
Test's
Test's
Legion
Legion
of
of Fans.
Yeah, but she coined the phrase. So.
And Test isn't even on the show or even at the World. So it's pointless to even bring it up.
So then she introduces Saliva, and
Except for they say the
Saliva
word testicle.
and Saliva plays the pay-per-view theme always with their song Always,
Always?
Always,
Always.
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 I'm not a Saliva fan, but like I tell you what though, this is a cool way to hype the show. Because during the performance of a live performance, they would show clips of all the major matches and the stories involved with them. So I thought it was really cool.
I do agree about that part.
My problem is they do the same thing later without the live performance. And they still play the song with a video package.
Always.
Yeah, no, what they're trying to do is trying to get you to buy the pay-per-view while you're watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that seems like the best marketing I've ever seen in my life.
The network does it, so what the hell's the
No, the
difference?
difference is this is the show that's already happening. Nobody's watching the show is going to buy the show because they already bought the show.
I don't know. Tell
Get
you.
it?
You gotta
You get it.
think about it this way. If you're at that World place, you didn't buy the show.
They probably have it on the TVs. It's the freaking
Correct.
WWE themed show.
And but
Go order it right now, Mom.
Could you imagine going to a nightclub to watch wrestling? You're already paying some money. Pretty much got to pay a cover because the whole place is buying the
Well,
pay-per-view.
yeah, 'cause
And you
it-
gotta
yeah.
eat.
And then you got to eat and drink.
And it costs bars and restaurants more money to rent that kind of stuff
Right.
to do that.
Actually, it might not even cost because technically it's a WWE show. So wouldn't they just give it to that place for free?
They probably. I
maybe.
was just saying the
That'd be retarded if they
I
made their
was
own
just
people
saying
pay.
the generalized purpose of say if
I charge
if
a cover, $10.
If a bar was gonna
No, I'm saying it'd be retarded if WWE
Yeah.
fucking made their
Yeah.
own restaurant pay for the pay per view.
The point I was going to get at with the point I was making was that when bars want to say air the UFC fight or,
Or
Oh yeah,
boxing
then it
match
costs
or
more
or shit
money.
like that, then it costs more. Like the bar that I work for pays more money for Sunday ticket than I pay for Sunday ticket.
Yeah, they got like 20 TVs. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. All right, next match.
Just like that kind of thing.
Next match is the Cruiserweight title match. Jamie Noble versus Billy Kidman.
This is really good.
Yeah, for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Kidman does a Hurricane Rana to Noble. Noble does a neck breaker to Kidman. Noble does a tope to Kidman, which is really weird to see Noble do Cruiserweight moves. Kidman does a flying
He's a
drop
redneck
kick
cruiserweight. I don't see
to
the
Flying Noble. Kidman does a neck breaker to the knee of to Noble here.
Cruiserweight trash. I mean, wait.
Noble does a Falcon Arrow to Kidman.
problem. Nobody kicks out of the fucking arrow.
Kidman does a top rope crossbody to Noble. Kidman does a springboard leg drop to Noble. Nydia decides to slap Kidman.
Yeah. Slap me anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Noble does a Tiger Bomb to Kidman, which looks really nice. Kidman does a faceplant buster off the top rope to Noble.
That
Noble-
one hurt.
Noble does a very sickening looking top rope DDT to
Oh.
Kidman.
Oh, yeah. The fucking RVD cell.
Kidman does an Enziguri and a Shooting Star Press to Noble, and Billy Kidman wins the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, this match is great. Again, this is the third match, including the pre-show, where I just think they're out there as long as they need to be. They don't stretch things out too far. They go from one spot to the next. Nothing seemed out of place as far as I can tell. Nydia was there.
My Nydia.
She was she was on camera just enough to make her presence felt, and then but when you see her make her presence felt in the actual match, it almost comes like it's from out of nowhere. I thought it was really well executed,
And she was looking good.
and well, she always looked good, yeah. Seeing Jamie Noble do cruiserweight moves was freaking fantastic.
It was weird.
Yeah, I know, but
Cruiserweight trash, as you just said.
yeah. So it's cruiserweight trash.
Cruiserweight trash.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight trash.
Oh, by the way, I meant to say there's 2 sexy pins so far. Unfortunately, they would stop in this match, but I was hoping they would continue. So like I could just pinpoint a sexy pin in every match, but unfortunately, life sucks, right?
I mean, Shawn Michaels pinning somebody isn't sexy enough for you. He is the sexy boy.
No, it's not. Okay, it's not,
That's just I think the technicalities, man.
dude. It's not. Okay, you know what a sexy pin is.
Yeah, I
You
do.
know what it is.
Was there any in the next match?
It's basically
No, that was it.
missionary.
Unfortunately. Yeah, my favorite spot was
Legs up, missionary.
my favorite spot was that DDT, and then obviously the shooting star press. I don't know, like how he nails the guy who's so close to the ropes. I know what he did. What he does, he goes up, does a shooting star press, and goes backwards. So it's like he's putting backspin on himself.
Throw himself a little forward and back.
Yeah, and
That's the thing.
I still don't know how anybody can hit that when he's so close. I know Lesnar tried it, and he was a dummy for doing it because it goes out too far.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, but like I still don't understand the physics of that. So by the way, Kidman doesn't wear jorts anymore because I think they knew Cena was coming into the company soon.
Jesus Christ.
So
I'm pretty sure he had matches with Cena overseas. They had like that
He
tag
did.
team match at whatever fucking
And Cena was not wearing jorts.
whatever pay-per-view that was. They had that tag team match. Cena and some chick versus
Or Japan?
Kidman.
Rebellion.
Yeah, Rebellion 2002. Cena and
Cena teams up with Don Marie against
And-
against Billy
Kid-
Kidman and Tori.
Billy Kidman and Tori go over. It shows you what Cena was at that point in time.
Wow.
Even though Cena won his first pay-per-view match at Vengeance 02 against Jericho.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Get the rocket right to his back.
The little trivia
Oh,
note.
and then they put him against Kidman. Because that's when they think that's when they were talking about firing his ass.
Yeah.
They brought him in and said, "You suck."
until he did that rap gimmick on the Halloween episode, and they're like, "What?"
No, they did. He did it backstage first, and Steph heard it. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna do that now. We're gonna put you on TV."
Then you're gonna spank my ass on television too.
Oh yeah, Steph was.
No, that was totally Steph's idea.
Oh, I know. And God damn, I'm so
Just
jealous
like
of John
Jericho and Rhino making fun of her, or Jericho and The
Making
Rock
fun of her
making
tits?
Yeah.
Cena. Oh, she was all about that. She didn't mind those jokes at all because like she knew she was a heel and there has to be heat put on her.
Well, plus back then you didn't have Twitter to fucking straight
I
up insult everyone after the shows
I
are
also
done.
guarantee you they went backstage like, "Ha, that was a good one." They're all somewhat more
Yeah.
friendly because wrestling's fake, scripted, you know.
Well, plus Jericho then
No.
got to be her boyfriend at one point in time too.
Well, I blew his mind. Wrestling's scripted.
Wrestling's.
It's still real to me, damn it.
You're Billy Gunn guy.
Triple H
saying
didn't
that.
fuck that dead corpse in the
Still
cage.
real to me, damn it.
He did it. So what was blurry? It was a steamy. It wasn't blurry. It was steamy.
Oh God.
Gene Snitsky didn't punk kick that baby into the crowd.
It was hot, passionate love.
Oh God. Oh, screw the brains out. Yeah.
He screwed her brains.
Okay.
Here
okay.
comes the airplane.
All right. Oh no.
All right. We need
It's
to
the
rate.
only one I've
We need to rate that last match, guys. Holy fuck.
I gave it a 6.5.
I give it a 7.5.
I give it 7.5.
Jesus Christ.
The airplane. God fucking damn
Here
it.
comes the
I
airplane.
don't even have to say the actual joke.
Inside joke like 5,404.
You,
Yeah,
you
the match
all
was
love
good.
it. Holy shit.
Third solid match in a row on this pay-per-view so far. So keep it up, guys.
Oof. Then we got RVD is
Oh.
backstage, right?
Now we have Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. So Kurt Angle is backstage and he's
Crispin who?
I'm sorry, Kurt Angle
Okay.
and then Voldemort.
Okay.
So Kurt Angle is
Benoit.
Kurt Angle is watching the TV is watching the TV and on the TV is Kidman's win, and he says, well, if Kidman can win the Cruiserweight Championship and the crowd pans over to Chris Benoit, then we can watch. Oh, I'm sorry. Then we can win the WWE Tag Team titles.
Then we can watch somebody else win.
If we can get along, and then Chris Benoit stands up and says, "What do you mean? What'd you say? What?" The crowd starts going, "What with them? Huh? What'd you say?" The crowd starts going, "What?" I was like, "Okay." Like, he's ripping off Stone Cold for a second.
Actually,
So then-
actually, you know why he's doing that? Is because Stone Cold Steve Austin did the what chant first to Kurt Angle.
Okay,
So
That's true.
storyline continuity.
very
Yeah.
nice. Long-term storytelling.
My favorite
Um,
part's the end.
Then so Angle
Oh,
calms
yeah.
and then Angle calms down Benoit and says we're gonna win, and Chris Benoit says yep we're gonna win, and extends his hand to so Angle can shake it. Angle goes, I'm not shaking your hand. I'm gonna give you a hug though, champion's hug.
He goes, tag team partners don't shake hands. Tag team partners got a hug. Referencing Tommy Boy, that at this point was 7 years
Yeah.
old and is now 25 years old.
Which, hey, going back to the Eddie Guerrero podcast, Batista said the same thing to Eddie.
Go figure.
The funniest thing about it is, I quote that movie more than almost any movie I've ever seen. So
Facts. It's a good movie.
that gets a 9er in there. Yeah, a lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Yeah.
All right, so after
went
after
to
that
college
little
for 7
segment, we have the F view.
Yes. Not
This
the
is-
not
this-
the FU, the
The
F view.
FU.
The
Okay.
idea of
The
this,
irony is there.
the idea of this is
It's a hidden camera in the
Pervy.
ceiling.
It was they had I think during the Attitude Era they had Crash TV segments where it's just a camera randomly in some room and wrestlers don't know it's there. All right, and this
Apparently.
yeah apparently
yeah. So you walk into that room and you don't see the one piece of tile missing
Yeah.
from the ceiling.
and a black cylinder looking at you and zooming in and
Yeah,
out or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was. It was literally
Yeah.
It was really bad quality too, that camera.
So this one, this view was Victoria in her locker room or wherever the fuck she was or backstage.
Mirror,
somewhere.
mirror
She's looking at
on the
she's looking at a
wall.
mirror of herself and doing the Evil Queen from Snow White bit where she's like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And then she pauses and goes, "It's Trish Stratus? Are you serious? Trish Stratus? Trish Stratus? No!" And she takes the mirror and shatters it.
when she rips the head off of the.
And then
stick.
there's a cardboard cutout of
Which
something.
that's the part I don't understand. Why the fuck do you have the cardboard cutout sitting in your locker room right next to you?
Yeah. Trish Stratus always has those opponents where they're just like stalkers or psychos trying to either get with her or totally destroy her, but they're all obsessed with her in some weird way.
Back at WrestleMania 22, I was all into a scene between Trish Stratus and Mickie James. I was all up for all of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's an audio podcast, guys.
Audio podcast.
I love the bit with the Mickie James thing where she's holding the towel when Trish gets out of the shower.
Oh,
She's
Hey
Lovely.
Trish, nice boobs.
Yeah. But everybody knows about the Trish Stratus
Yes.
Mickie James bit at WrestleMania. If you don't know, go Google it because we can't really give you the idea.
Or one of the best segments was
Audio
when-
podcast.
Audio podcast.
One of the best segments is Mickey holding up the mistletoe. You know what that means, Trish?
Also, the stupid thing is you have to literally go on YouTube because they took it off the network.
They did.
Okay,
Then we have
she pulls a Donald Trump on Trish.
Pretty
She
much,
grabs
yeah.
her by the pussy.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
She grabs her by the
yum.
she grabs her by the ballot.
Hey, if you're
Grab her by the
nice.
ballot.
You were gonna get that in there, weren't you?
Yep. So we have a hardcore match for the women's title: Trish Stratus
There
versus
goes half our fan
Victoria.
base.
What's that?
There goes half our fan base.
Yeah, bye, bitches.
What fan
Victoria
base?
Victoria starts
Both of
choking
them.
Trish with her entrance
out.
attire.
Yeah, this match going. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Then Victoria starts choking Trish with a broom. And there was actually one part in time where they did like a suplex
One part in
with
time.
the broom in their hands. So neither
point
one of
in
them
time.
let go of this broom.
What kind of suplex was it?
Like a Northern Lights.
Oh wow.
I'll show you my Northern Lights.
No thanks. Trish hit Victoria on the head of the trash can lid. Victoria then threw Trish into a trash can that was sitting on the outside of the ring, tied to the ropes.
That looked good.
Victoria did a helo leg drop to Trish. Trish then slingshotted Victoria into the corner, set a trash can up, and slingshot her into that trash can.
Well, Victoria set the trash can up. Trish slingshotted Victoria into the trash can.
Right.
Trish sent Victoria into an ironing board that was in the corner, set up by Trish.
Took like an
herself.
hour and a half to do it too.
She didn't even get set up. She's like, that looks right.
Yeah.
Trish then hit a chick kick, then hit Victoria with a couple kendo stick shots.
Yeah.
Victoria and Trish then started doing some trash can lid shots to each other. Victoria did a powerbomb to Trish. Trish did another chick kick to Victoria. Trish Stratus then attempted the Stratusfaction, which turned into a botched bulldog to Victoria.
And it looked painful, so I'll take it.
Victoria was outside of the ring, grabs a fire extinguisher, attempts to use it, can't get the pin out, finally does a snap suplex to Trish and pins her and wins the title.
Yeah.
I wanted to see her hit her with the sheet tray.
So I guess
Or the mirror.
So I guess Victoria and I guess in Victoria's moveset she has a faulty fire extinguisher as her setup.
Yep, that's her.
My signature is faulty fire extinguisher. My finisher is fire extinguisher.
And just to make sure, I'll give you a snap suplex.
Let's just please make that somebody's gimmick. Where you grab a fire extinguisher that doesn't
Yeah.
have any of the shit inside of it anymore and you
That-
try to use it, it doesn't work.
That was Vince McMahon backstage talking to him about their match. I'm like, all right, so you sure you know how to do this? Yeah, I can do it.
Pull the pin out. Squeeze the. God damn it! Vince is gonna kill me.
I would have laughed if she would have got it to work when it wasn't playing. She just blasted herself.
Well, I mean, that would have been
Great.
hilarious.
This match again. This is the fourth straight match where it was friggin' fun. Both of these women went out. I think Victoria even got some blood on when
She
she
was
Had to
bleeding
bleed
from the
from the
nose.
took that slingshot. I think that's where she got it when she took that slingshot into the
Well, that was
trash
that
can.
It was
was
either
the
the
one
weird
part
trash
where
can
Trish
scene.
kicked that can when
Off
it was
her
on her
face.
face.
Oh, maybe I don't know. It's kind
One of the
hard to
two.
It was like, take that trash can, but it was
Yeah.
still on her face.
But my other favorite spot was when Victoria whipped Trish into one of the trash cans that were held up by
Those bungee cords.
zip ties or
When they were
bungee
on the
cords
ring-
on the ring post, which I thought that looked really cool.
But then there was random weapons in there,
Yeah.
like the ironing board and
So
shit.
so if anybody's listening, there was a trash can bungee corded to each ring post outside of the ring, and there was random weapons in all of them. So
I really want to see that sheet tray.
yeah, they didn't.
I
use
wanted
that
to see the
one.
mirror.
They pulled it. I was like,
Oh, that's-
and that too.
Yeah, why even do that? I know it fit. What's her name? Or I'm sorry, Victoria's gimmick, but she didn't even pick up to look at it either.
Yeah, it's
She
respect,
did-
man.
she
You
did
know
look
who
at it.
Victoria is.
But it looked like there was looked like it was already broken. First off,
Well, one, if you're gonna use it, you're gonna have it pre-broken, or else it hurt like a bitch.
well, no, I know,
It's like
but
any table.
well, no, you would have like gimmicked it like
Yeah.
that Shane McMahon street fight that we saw when he used the picture
Yeah, the what do you call that material that breaks away like that?
sugar
Sugar
glass.
glass.
Yeah, use that or something.
You would have used something like that, but Victoria literally looks at it. Looks like there's already a crack in it, and just puts it down and doesn't do anything with
Like,
it.
Yeah. Yeah, these women hit each other hard, and this is like maybe right after the divas of the Attitude Era, like Sable or Jacqueline, that were just there for being eye candy. These women look good, but they were actually out there to show their physicality and like have a good match. And this was a good match.
Yeah, they're both fitness
Unfortunately-
models.
Yeah, and they're both tens.
Unfortunately, we're still in the Divas era, though.
Yeah, it was called the women's title though.
It was.
It's called the women's title, but when she
It
was
was
doing
called
the,
women's title back in the Attitude Era too, though.
when she was doing
True.
what made it worse is when they actually made a Divas title. But,
Yeah.
The butterfly one, yeah,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
speaking of
That
that,
looks
was
stupid.
when they were doing the mirror thing with the fucking perv camera.
Perv camera.
She literally asked the mirror who's the best diva or best looking diva of them all or whatever. She used the word diva in that bit.
and
too.
yeah,
What if the mirror would have said someone completely different?
Remember, they still used the word diva because they still had total divas.
Fuck that show. Well, what if the fucking mirror would have said someone else, like the best looking one?
Moolah.
Oh, God, that would have been
Santina.
hilarious. Santino was too new.
Or who was the other woman that was with Moolah all the time?
Mae Young.
Mae Young.
The Mae Young Classic.
You know.
Or what if it would have been like the best looking one, Tori Wilson.
Yum.
Stacy Keebler.
She's gonna go get those testicles.
Yeah.
Sable was gone at the time. Jacqueline.
Yeah, who else is in there? Nydia, I guess.
Nydia.
Dawn Marie.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dawn
by the
Marie.
way, yeah, they made a little cameo. Dawn Marie
Yeah,
and Tom
later
Wilson.
on.
And Don Marie and Al Wilson.
Al Wilson, excuse me.
The guy who died from too much sex.
Good for him.
I had sex with too many people.
No, he had sex too many times with Don Marie.
The best way to go out. And Dawn Marie's like,
Don Marie or in Don Marie?
I would say in. In would be best.
My only question
You
is
finish and you just go, oh, I'm done. And be
Wouldn't that-
done.
Okay,
Heart attack
okay.
and stroke out.
Wouldn't that fuck her up psychologically though?
The last guy I slept with
He
came
died.
in me and died.
It
Right on the
depends. Was
spot.
she written into the will? Then she's fine.
She's like, how much money did he have?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't think Tori Wilson's dad would have made that much.
Yeah. So
he looked like Hugh Hefner, and they made him play a character like Hugh Hefner. So,
yeah.
Just to piss off Tori because she wanted a lesbian. She wanted some HLA with Tori.
I want some hot lesbian love Victoria.
That's not possible since we're not lesbians.
I was just saying.
I'm a lesbian in a man's body. Hello.
You can still want it. You could literally be in the room. The chances of you being in the room while two women are doing their thing and you being invited could very well be very much higher than if you weren't in the room. So
I mean, it hides your chances if you're there. So
just
guess.
being there gives you a better
Yeah.
chance. Either way,
Alright.
moving on. What do we rate that? match?
well,
6.5.
yeah. I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm at a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because I haven't seen women do this before at the time
Right.
that I saw this.
Right. I was about to say because like as far as I know, that was the first women's hardcore match I've ever seen. Unless I just happened to watch one before that wasn't labeled a hardcore match but ended up being one.
There was one at a 90s pay-per-view. I think it was Unforgiven or something. Wrestling with Regret reviewed it. That's the only reason why I know about it.
Yeah. But these but when going into this despite Trish and Victoria being in this, I almost was like hardcore match, but they didn't fuck around.
No, they didn't fuck
They
around.
didn't do anything that was like out of their.
Yeah, but at the same time, they still hit each other with everything they had, and they were stiff, and they didn't hold back, and so 7 out of 10. Good job, girls, women. Excuse me,
All right, then who were we backstage
Divas?
with?
Mr. Easy E himself, Eric Bischoff. So
Yeah.
Talking
So-
to Coach.
the coach asked him, "What can we expect from the Elimination Chamber?" And Eric Bischoff says, "Okay, when people are getting interviewed, why is it a trope? Like guys have to ask the question back to the interviewer. What do you
Because
what do
nobody
you
else has
expect?
a right dialogue.
What do we expect? What-
Time.
We expect murder. What?
You gotta waste time, bro.
Oh, okay.
They had no reason to. They had their matches were long enough.
Yeah.
They wanted
I agree. They could have had Saliva play
to.
more.
They could have cut. They could have cut.
Okay,
the saliva
fair enough.
bit.
Okay, so then Eric Bischoff said, "You're a witness to history. My evil genius mind, or whatever the fuck he called it, came up with this innovative thing that Stephanie McMahon couldn't do because they were having Stephanie McMahon were having a
Grand
inter-brand
rivalry
here, which probably was the only time it really made sense because it was novel. It was a novel
It
idea.
was like only a year after the
Yeah.
draft.
Well, this wasn't even a full year. This was
Yeah.
the draft was literally like right before, actually right after Judgment Day 02. So I remember at Vengeance 02, they're both fighting for the contract of Triple H.
Yeah.
Triple H doesn't do SmackDown. We haven't learned this already.
He did in 2008.
So as Eric Bischoff
That was
was
off.
Shut up.
so as
That's why he
Bischoff
doesn't do SmackDown.
So as Bischoff is putting over the Elimination Chamber for probably the 5th time in this show between him and other people, Big Show walks up. You know, the camera goes up like that. It's like it just made Big Show look freaking huge. I thought it was a great way
Well, to be fair,
put
the size comparison of Big Show and Bischoff would be a pretty decent size.
I know, but the camera likes to go from from underneath, makes him look really tall.
True.
And so it makes Big Show look like the beast that he was then.
a stud.
So Big Show says to Bischoff, "But you're going to make a mistake for trading me to SmackDown because I'm going to go out and win the world title tonight." And that's when the segment's over. And he walks away.
You brought up a bunch of people talking about the Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber is the Flip Gordon of this show.
So and Saliva's right there with him. So
Yeah,
like
that too.
flip 1 and then flip 2, or flip A, 1A, 1B.
Flip A, 1A, 1B.
After that, we go to Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. And so Brock is in a room, and Paul Heyman walks in.
Brock's
with
in a room?
Brock's in a room, just in a room with his ribs with his ribs taped up,
His abdomen?
his abdomen taped up. And Paul Heyman walks in with the world title, and Brock looks at him and says, "What's the matter, Paul? You nervous?" Now, here's some context. They've been having some bickering issues on SmackDown the past few weeks to set up what's going to happen in the world title match. And Paul says, "Yeah, I've been nervous ever since Big Show came over to SmackDown, and now you got to fight a giant. You're hurt. You haven't been the same since your Hell in a Cell match. And but at the same time, I will guarantee my client will leave
Foreshadowing.
at Madison Square Garden as WWF champion." And right then and there, you can tell Swerve coming.
Foreshadowing.
Coming.
Foreshadowing.
Then we had the WWE title match. Brock Lesnar versus Big Show. Big Show does a Beal to Brock.
Beal.
A what?
A Beal. An Ally McBeal.
What's a Beal?
A Beal is literally where you're locked up with somebody and you just toss them.
Oh, okay. I never heard that term before.
Yes, you have. we
We've
talked
done
about it
it.
before.
Happens.
Okay, how about this? I don't remember anything you said about it. That's why I asked again.
Brock does a double leg takedown to Big Show. Big Show then runs Brock's back into the turnbuckle.
Man, that sounds like you can say that 5 times fast.
Nah, I'm not going to try. Brock, fuck you. Brock does a kind of a botched side suplex to Big Show.
Big Show didn't get high enough. He didn't help.
Brock did a German
You
to
made
Big
up for it,
Show.
though, so it's okay.
Brock did a belly to belly to Big Show.
There, that's one of them.
Then Paul Heyman slides the chair into the ring. And Big Show first punches the chair. Brock then hits Big Show in the head of the chair. Does an F5 to Big Show on said chair. Paul Heyman takes the referee out of the ring and punches him in the face.
Yeah, okay, I know we're almost to the end of the spot, but I want to talk about that because that's a spot I never liked. I understand the point of doing a ref bump and the ref that started the match not knowing what happened in the ring, but why send a second ref who knows what just happened in the ring and not just disqualify the rest of the match?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the original ref ends up being the one that counts the pin anyways.
Go figure.
So then Big Show ends up hitting Brock with the chair. Does a choke slam to Brock on the chair. Then, and this is what I saw in the replay. Big Show originally attempts to throw the chair out of the ring. And it must hit the rope
Yeah, it
because
bounced
it
up.
bounces back. And he has to throw it out again.
And the ref is almost turned around at that point.
Yeah.
He just rolled back in
The referee was
ring.
a second away from turning around.
But the Big Show wins the WWE Championship.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yes, that was my first thought. I didn't think this match should have gone longer than as far as it was. Again, this was a perfectly booked match for these two guys.
I'll
Boss
agree
fight
with that.
all the way to the beginning. There was a Big Show to me carried this match. Much as good as Brock Lesnar was then. You know how hard it is for Brock Lesnar to do a belly to belly. I'm sorry, do a German suplex on a guy
He
like
almost
Big Show,
died on
and he
that,
almost
dude.
got his face crushed in because of that.
It looked really good, but also like, holy shit.
And Show went after the ribs like he should have. Good storytelling. Paul Heyman gets his nose in the match. Good storytelling because that's the way it's been playing out for the past 3-4 weeks.
And then the swerve.
And then the swerve.
Which is one of
Not Scott.
It's one of those well executed.
Oh, I figured you would have laughed on that one.
I didn't hear you.
Swerve Scott.
Isaiah
Oh.
Swerve Scott.
Yeah, sorry, missed it. Yeah, and you guys are probably going to go, what? When I rate this match at 8. I thought it was fantastic.
Damn.
For what it was, I was gonna give it a 7.5. So I'm not.
Oh, there you go.
super high.
Okay, 8.
I'm at a 6.
Just for what I know about what it did, and like at the time, even I was like, oh, like when I was still like I was 10. So
I think I know why he said it at 6, but it could be
What-
because of storyline continuance after that.
It's not even because of storyline continuance. It's just the fact that I didn't like the fact that they had to send out the second ref.
No, the second ref thing pissed me off.
Yeah.
That's honestly what brought it down. Because I would have had a 6.5, even a 7 if that hadn't happened. But the match overall was good. I mean, they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything to fuck it up or
I
anything.
really don't understand the second ref thing. Why would you send a ref that saw everything happen into the ring and not disqualify everybody?
The
But
same reason
because-
that Survivor Series 05, they didn't do that when Davari was the
don't
ref and
do
they
it
had
during-
the SmackDown ref come out eventually.
They don't do it during any
Yeah,
time
but
it happens.
don't you know nothing counts when it's back when it's not out in front of the fans, right?
And then even in that case with the second referee, everybody gets an Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
You
true.
get an out. If the original ref isn't the one that counts the pinfall, anybody can fight that and dispute it because they weren't signed to the match.
Yeah.
True. Do you have any extra notes that I did not have, Albert?
No, because this match was like 5 minutes long, but it told all the story you needed. I loved it. It was great.
Well, then right after that, you see Paul
So you
Heyman
can-
and Big
okay.
Show run into the car.
Oh, yeah.
So you see, it is possible to do a 4-minute Brock Lesnar match and be good.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
why?
but this story this story was wasn't the same as the ones we're getting now because now we're getting stories with Brock Lesnar where all he does is do nothing, and he gets a 4-minute match where he beats everybody up
And then he gets his
and-
$2 million check and goes home.
and then he goes home and goes away. Here, Brock Lesnar was a full-time a full-time superstar.
So then, like I said, Lesnar and Heyman run into a car and just take off.
Adios,
Big Show,
bitches.
500 pounds, and suddenly scared of somebody, but whatever.
But then,
I have a point that I want to laugh. I would have laughed because you know how like The Rock can't fit into certain sports cars because he's too big.
Big Show shouldn't be able to fit in that car.
I would have laughed if he tried to get into the limo and he couldn't get in.
He should have just walked up to it, picked it up, and dragged it with him. You know, like it's a briefcase or something.
All right.
Yeah.
I just thought it was
Then
funny
do we have
thing.
another segment of someone preparing for the chamber match?
Nope.
All right, we'll have to talk about those at the end because I don't remember all of them.
I wrote down a couple of them. I didn't do. I got Shawn Michaels here, and I got Triple H.
RVD had one too.
Yeah, but it was all like this, them sitting around, like
Yeah.
hyping themselves up.
Triple H and Shawn were the only ones who got interviewed.
I'm also going to say them now. I think Chris Jericho was standing back, and there was some kind of thing he was smacking with his hand.
He was
up.
smacking glass.
Yeah.
He was smacking the plexiglass.
Oh, okay, and
It
then
looked like it was a pre-recorded segment.
RVD was split-legged between two. I think it was two pallets, and he was just like, and, in his Zen moment, like you said, he looked like he was stoned.
He wasn't lifting any weights though. What the
They
hell?
showed Booker T just backstage doing something.
And he was just like doing like running in place or something like that.
I never saw Kane. I don't remember what he was doing.
Kane was
Um,
just chilling. He was just literally walking. He was just standing there going.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Kane.
I
but
suddenly
I got,
got a voice box.
Shawn Michaels comes up in a second, but he doesn't really say anything because he gets interrupted, and we'll talk about that. And then Triple H is the last one to speak.
Triple H has an interview, but I'm gonna disappoint all you fans right now. There wasn't any
Yeah, there was no game.
I didn't even do my gimmick.
Changing it up.
Then I immediately get karma because I can't speak anymore by the end of the match.
Then we have a triple threat elimination match for the WWE Tag Team titles.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio and Edge versus Chris Benoit
Listen
and Kurt Angle versus
to
Los
the
Guerreros.
Listen to the names in this match. Wow.
Yes.
Jesus.
All right. Hopefully you got notes because I wasn't able to keep up with every single thing, but I
No.
kept up with quite a bit.
You've seen this match at least a dozen times, so you probably...
Ray did a Hurricane Run on a flapjack to Benoit. Edge did a backdrop to Angle and a clothesline to Angle. Edge does a drop kick and a slam to Chavo. Ray does a splash to Chavo. Ray does a monkey flip to Eddie, which Eddie sells it really well. Ray does a head scissors to Angle. Angle does a suplex to Ray. Angle does a clothesline to Ray. Benoit does a snap suplex to Ray. Ray does a heel kick to Angle. Edge does a face buster to Benoit. Edge does a belly to Angle. Benoit and Angle do an ankle lock crossface combination to Edge.
Yeah, that was great.
Ray does a corkscrew moonsault to Chavo and Angle outside the ring. Eddie, Benoit, and Edge do a powerbomb suplex pin combination, which looked amazing.
And he went for a pin.
Well, yeah, that's why I said the pin combination.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
they both kick out.
Yeah.
So.
Benoit does Germans to Edge. Eddie does a frog splash to Edge.
Then the headbutt.
Then Benoit does a headbutt to Eddie, who's trying to pin Edge. There's a crossface to Edge. At the same time, there's an ankle lock to Ray.
And yeah, I'm sorry. I want to talk about that later.
Yeah, I think I know what spot you're going to talk about.
Angle does... Actually...
Lost your
crossface-
spot in the notes.
Chavo hits Benoit
Classic.
with the belt in the back. Eddie does a spear, or Edge does a spear to Benoit. Benoit and Angle do a German to Ray.
We're not going
And
to talk
Edge.
about where they did the Los Guerreros thing and they made Benoit think that Kurt Angle did it, because that's a spot you didn't write
Well,
down.
that's why he's got that. There's an Angle slam to Edge. Eddie does a suplex to Edge. Eddie does a helo to Edge. Eddie does a sleeper to Edge. Then Eddie starts choking Edge with the tag rope in the corner with Chavo. Eddie does a backdrop suplex to Edge. Edge does a flapjack to both Guerreros. Ray does a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Eddie. Edge does a corner spear to both Guerreros. Ray does a Hurricane Rana to Eddie. Ray does a 619 to Eddie. Chavo hits Ray with the tag team title. Eddie does the lasso from El Paso to Edge. And, to Ray. And Ray taps out.
I was surprised by the
Los
tap out.
Guerreros win.
You lie, you cheat, you steal.
And they did that in this
did that.
match.
I was,
Both
surprised,
times.
I was surprised by the tap out. You hardly ever see a face tap out like that.
Well, I mean, technically, when Kurt and Benoit won the titles, Edge tapped.
Okay, so yeah, okay. First of all 6 of these guys were like the hardest SmackDown at the time, and these guys were the like it was like when all the workers in WCW were the backbone of that company when they had the New World Order, because New World Order wasn't going to work. They're going to like work their 5-minute match and go home and get paid. This is the same situation here, except these guys are all, except for Chavo, all of them become world champion. And that
Chavo, you can even count because
I
he
don't
won
count
the
the
ECW belt.
ECW, well,
Nobody counts
ECW
that.
discount,
What culture
right?
didn't count it? No, but to that point, you say these are the heart of SmackDown outside of Brock Lesnar at the time. The heart of SmackDown in this match and the heart
Minus
of Raw
Taker.
is in the main match.
Oh well. What I mean is that these guys will come in every week,
Yeah.
and they'll deliver good matches with each other over and over again. I mean, we talked about it during the match itself.
Well, this is the reason why SmackDown at the time was getting better ratings.
Yeah. Who was the
Smack-
booker? Was it Paul Heyman?
Yeah,
Why is
There you go.
SmackDown getting better booking now? Or better ratings now?
because they're on national television.
Because Reigns is good now? Yeah, it is because they're on national television.
Ray almost took a bad bump here. He fell
Oh,
right
he
in his
did
head.
take a bad bump. He just didn't.
Yeah. So Ray was the guy at the beginning. He got like all his shit in over. He was beating up everybody. Like he mentioned all the Hurricanranas and the
We needed to do a Jocks watch though on his mask.
yeah he did little.
Twice. It's the second match I've seen that be a big thing.
A cool aspect of this match is that it was a triple threat, but it was elimination on top of that, and only two team members could be in the ring at the same time. So what everybody was doing was that they were trying to avoid being tagged in until the first team or until somebody got eliminated. So the Guerreros tried to duck Angle's tags after Angle was trying to get out of the ring, and it
Well,
happened.
that was great because Angle would go to tag him and they'd fucking jump off the apron at the
Yeah,
same
I thought
time.
that was great. And every team I think at one point did that to some degree or another. Especially the Guerreros, and maybe Angle Benoit did it once or twice. I don't think. I should come to think of it, I don't think Edge or Ray did it.
None of the other teams did that.
Yeah.
Technically, Edge and Ray are the only face team in this match.
Yeah,
Um,
because Benoit's a face, Angle's a heel.
And then there's
Guerreros
the
are
heel.
heels.
Okay, so Edge pins Benoit, and the crowd kind of shits on it a little bit.
Yeah, because they didn't want. They actually like. I liked it, Curtin.
The thing is the crowd loves Benoit because he's a face. If it would have been pinning Angle, they might have been okay with it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, then they just go on and just beat the shit. out
They
of
do.
him.
They're arguing with each other while they're suplexing anybody who's in the ring.
And then like Legend said over here, the whole belt spot to Benoit, and Chavo throws the belt at Angle, makes it look like Angle did it.
Yeah, I think that gets a little overplayed. I mean, Angle and Benoit already have enough heat with themselves. I don't think they needed to add that to it.
I say at this point in time, this is 2002. It has not been done.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
You know
if
what?
Especially if
Yeah,
you
you're
guys
right.
think about the time this happened.
It's 18 years
It's not
ago,
like
yeah.
it's 2015
You're
and the
right.
Guerreros are out there doing the same spot
Well,
they've been doing.
well. Plus, it starts
Not
off.
like MJF and Jericho.
It starts off the Benoit feud with Angle eventually.
Yeah, that leads into something else we're gonna watch later.
I also felt after Angle and Benoit got pinned, and then they had the little squabble in the ring and then up the ramp. To me, the match slowed down just a little bit. I don't know, was there less intensity, or I'm not saying they sucked. Don't get me wrong.
You can't
but-
do as much with 4 people instead of 6.
Well, I understand that, but still though, I've seen plenty of tag matches where 4 guys can get a lot done. I'm not saying they didn't do anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on it. But to me, it slowed down a little
Oh,
bit.
I don't disagree there.
Yeah. I still give the match a 7.5.
I think they had to catch their breath.
Maybe. I'll still give the match a 7.5. It would have been an 8. I think if Angle and Benoit and the Guerreros were at the end or whatever combination, I think it would be better. But that's just who knows? Whatever.
It's funny because we talked about this when we were talking about the show. Mine is not going to be what you think it is, but it's not. It's going to be way higher than that. We talked about. We love this match.
Yeah.
So I want to know what you rated this.
I gave it that. I gave it the 10. I couldn't go against it. I loved everything about it.
Okay.
It was booked very well.
Like I said, I didn't say I'm not saying it sucked.
No. We're not going against you. You have your own opinion.
Just talking about it. I went with 9.5. I was gonna be 10, but then I watched it and I was like, the Ray thing kind of fucked me up a little bit. But overall, I still loved it.
Okay.
Hey, this is what we're here for.
Yeah,
you can't just have the same shit all the time.
Yeah, no, we
Okay,
like
make it 10. Okay.
we like
Make
when
it
you
a 10 or you're out of the podcast.
God damn it, 10, 11.
we like when you disagree with us because
10 and a quarter.
we love to have differing opinions, especially when like you gave that Darby Allin match such a high rating compared to us.
Yeah.
I just had to point that one out just because like I knew what he thought of it already, and when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, hey Chris.
Yeah. Have fun following that one.
That's fine.
All right, but still though, like this match was full of Hall of Famers, and God damn it, they did not disappoint. So good
I
for them.
mean,
I love them.
all of them officially deserve Hall of Fame recognition. I mean, obviously,
Chavo having the least case and still
yeah,
pretty damn
oh
good.
yeah, definitely. Chavo has the least, but
Dumb question. Eddie went in, right?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
2006.
If
Gotcha.
you just eliminate Kerwin White from Chavo's history, he's fine.
And eliminate the last few days of Benoit's life.
That too.
Yeah, good job, guys. I love this match. 7.5 though. I know it's not a 10, but still,
I didn't give it that
still, this
either.
match was so much fun. All right, so we
All
had Chris Nowinski come out.
Oh god.
Was this his first appearance, or I'm sorry, like one of his first appearances in wrestling at this point?
Honestly, I don't know.
He wasn't around for very long.
No,
Yeah,
he was around
yeah.
for like a year on the main roster.
But I'll tell you what, though, he I think he's a great Harvard, right? Yeah, he went to Harvard.
yeah.
So he wrestled for maybe a year or two. I'm not sure how long.
He wrestled for about a year on the main roster.
And he sustained some head injuries and decided it wasn't worth losing his gray matter wasn't worth bumping in the ring and making money. So
which
then what
makes
he did,
sense.
He
yeah.
became
So
a concussion
so what he
specialist.
did, he became a concussion specialist, and he's been an associate, or I'm sorry, a consultant for many a wrestling company or
All major
or-
wrestling companies,
or all-
Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW,
And,
fucking WWE.
and I'm sure his that influence has spread over to major sports as well. So
Yeah, it has.
okay, so
Guy's making more money doing that than he would in actual wrestling.
I'm sure.
So he comes out and wearing his khakis and his loafers, and he's got his Harvard Letterman sweater on. And the first thing he says is that I'm here in New York, and I just want you all to know that like there's a difference between intelligence and street smarts. I'm intelligent, and you may be street smart. That doesn't mean you're intelligent. Basically, shitting on the whole crowd. Crowd's
Well-
not really booing him that much. I don't think he has enough heat built up for this. But and we'll find out why he's out there in about a minute.
Well, the weird thing is, too, is the one part he says is, none of you in this building aside from me went to Harvard. How in the fuck would you know that?
Well, he's,
'cause they're
he's
wrestling
supposed
fans.
to know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people in that damn crowd.
I just
Yeah,
called-
but in his mind, no one in New York can be better than
Dude,
him.
it's
So
the
no one
same.
could have
It's,
gone to
it's the
Harvard.
same thing as when somebody comes out and says the entire audience stinks. Like when Dean Ambrose got put up in his last
Yeah.
bit, we had to insult the crowd. Oh,
Hey,
you
I-
don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
You all
Hey,
stink.
hey, I'll question that, too. Why not?
It's stupid.
So then Matt Hardy comes out and basically
Cheap heat.
tag teams with Chris Nowinski on shitting on the crowd, saying the same things.
But wait, what are the Matt facts?
Wait.
I'll get that in a second. But so he so Matt says but so Matt goes to Chris and says, well, these people are so stupid they don't know they're losers. So I those was a funny line.
No, he said they're losers, not stupid.
Yeah, but they're so stupid they don't know they're losers. That was one of the things he said. Okay, so
They came up with Lupid.
So if anybody who doesn't know, Matt Hardy version 1, he comes out with this little
Matt Hardy version 2, V1 is V2.
Well, he
I
called
talk-
himself V1 here.
I know. I'm saying we talked about this.
Oh, I know, but it
when
is
happened.
V2 technically.
It's V1, but it's V2 because he was Matt Hardy first.
True.
He was the Hardy Boys first.
Okay, so and when he comes out on screen, you see like a little tail of tape box, and it has these little Matt facts on it. And the ones that we saw was that Matt Hardy likes to set the thermostat at a toasty 75 degrees, and he also likes low-fat chocolate milk.
I think it's hilarious because he walks out there and is like, you guys are sucking my matitude.
No, yeah, that's what like Mattitude was his catchphrase, and it didn't go well.
Oh, it went well.
So they continue to shit on the crowd, and they eventually start to celebrate that they're better than everybody else.
And everybody's a
then
looper.
the horn hits.
Lupid.
Oh, that's right, they're still lupid.
Lupid.
That-
They're
was-
stupid
they,
and they're losers. They're
they,
lupid.
That was in a Digital Underground song. Was it Humpty Dance? I'll use the words that don't mean nothing, like Lupin. Yeah. It was in the Humpty Dance. So like that's way back like 89, 90.
Yeah, that's a song that talks about getting it on with a girl in a Burger King bathroom.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
Okay,
your chance
so
to
then the horn hits. I'm sorry, the bullhorn hits.
The
beat comes
siren.
down. The siren comes
The
out.
ambulance drives
And
by.
then the image of Scott Steiner
Yeah,
on
legitimately, that was so weird.
Yeah.
That was weird timing. Like we're sitting there,
Like,
Scott,
you didn't see it,
Scott
you were
Steiner's
there, but-
fucking siren hits, and there's an ambulance just driving on the highway at the
I know,
same
you guys were
time.
like, "Huh? What?
It was so weird. It just was perfect timing.
Okay, so Scott Steiner walks out with his chainmail headgear,
Hey, look, it's Petey Williams.
and
Holler if you hear me.
and of course I'm sitting there being dumb, like I wonder if Scott Steiner would think down the line he'd be a math teacher, but
I'm like, hey, it's Petey Williams.
the pop he got was huge, and rightfully so, because he hadn't been seen for like what 2 years at this point, maybe 3. No, yeah, it's about 2 years since WCW went on.
Yeah, but if you think about WWE, when was the last time he was shown on WWF television? Like 90...
93, 94.
Three.
And this is the
94?
best
Yeah.
night of his comeback because everything from here was all downhill.
Crap.
You get the holler if you hear me, where my freaks and my peaks and all that stuff, and there was a sign you saw. What was it called?
Big Papa Boner.
Yeah.
It was really right behind him at the same time.
So
I said,
stupid but funny.
So he goes in the ring and basically puts his arms up as if to say to Nowinski and Matt Hardy, come get it, and they try to do and they oblige. Nowinski gets thrown out of the ring, and then Matt Hardy gets press slammed over the top rope on the Nowinski. Scott Steiner grabs the mic and says, "This is going out to all my freaks. I'm the hookup. Holla if you hear me." Crowd pops again. He walks off.
like, oh,
Well, the
you
funniest-
hook up for what? You got Coke?
Well, the funniest thing though is they pan to the crowd when he's grabbing this microphone, because on the unedited version you can hear him go, "Give me a fucking mic."
Oh yeah, because he's so edgy.
Yeah,
Okay.
these get catch with those F-bombs, man.
But I tell you what, when I heard about I don't think I watched the pay per view when it happened because there wasn't really the network and you had to pay like $50 to watch it. So I watched Raw the next night and they showed this bit. I marked out because I haven't seen Scott Steiner in years.
And then you realize why you hadn't seen something
And
in
then
years.
like you said, you see him wrestle and it's like, oh yeah, maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, you don't get so hyped about seeing 3 moves.
And
Yeah, and it's all the same one.
we're a couple podcasts away from seeing one of those
Okay.
matches.
Okay, so after that, again, we go backstage for the Shawn Michaels promo to hype up the Elimination Chamber. And he doesn't even get one word in, and it goes right to...
Randy Orton!
So it's like Randy News Network? Is that
Randy
what
News
Yep,
Network.
Ryan, RNN.
Yeah, so
Randy News
Orton what happened to his shoulder?
And he
tore.
broke it or
Yeah.
tore it or something.
So he tore a
Yeah,
ligament.
separated his shoulder. I think.
Yeah, separated shoulder, and so his gimmick is that he's rehabbing the shoulder, but but it comes on TV and says, "I want to talk to my fans. I want to thank them for their support." All smarmy and condescending. And without your support, I wouldn't be able to get through my rigorous rehab. And then
All your help, I'll be back.
yeah, and he also adds a little story about he's on an airplane and
Thanks
he
to the
thanks Sherry
sexy
for
flight attendant.
and the sexy flight attendant named Sherry. He
She
thanks
gave me
her
an
for the
extra
extra pillow,
pillow.
and he goes wink wink. And then I love this version of Randy Orton's brand spanking new.
This was basically because he
His
was.
Chad haircut.
It was,
Yeah.
it was weird because like Randy Orton first debuted, he's like, oh, it's just
Chad.
he's just out there, he's got overdrives his finisher, which is a stupid move.
What was it?
It's that fucking he puts the leg
Wasn't-
over the back of their head and like neck breakers them with it or something.
Almost like a weird famouser.
yeah, something
Dude,
like
dude,
that.
it's literally MVP's
Yeah,
finisher.
MVP's
Oh, there you
finisher.
go.
But when Randy was doing it, it was weird. And but then he got hurt. And then when he started doing these, I'm like, I like this.
Well, he started
Yeah.
doing he did the RKO at the same time. It's just the RKO was the setup move, which is
Yeah.
really odd.
Yeah. Looking back, how could that be a setup move for anybody
And
right
then it
now?
became his move.
Yeah.
Yes, because
So, yeah.
he stopped using the overdrive.
It's short-
Best way it's the best use of some downtime for a wrestler is to come on and do these little sex segments.
Sex segments?
Sex segments.
Is that what you heard me say?
I heard you say
I just
sex
started the word
segments.
seg twice. You thought,
It did sound
You're
like
nasty.
sex. It's funny.
but these little segments were always great. These
short-
sexments.
Orton's gonna give us sex tips.
I mean, he was talking about sex, wink, wink, with the flight attendant.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
But somebody do that audio podcast, wink, wink.
Yeah.
No,
wink.
but yeah, because shortly after he finally comes back from this, they start up a revolution relatively quickly.
Evolution is
Okay. Then we have one other.
Okay.
Now we have one other backstage and this is a Triple H promo
Where he doesn't say, oh, and it
where,
pissed me off.
he disappoints everybody in the room right here between the three of us. So he doesn't do the in the
didn't-
game.
You didn't do the thing.
that we like.
I no longer like you.
I wonder if he grew conscious of that and stopped doing it.
No, this has got to
No,
be.
because he did it in the 2008 show like
he-
4 times.
He did it in the Kozlov.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Which is fucking weird. He didn't do it in this one.
okay, maybe here he was conscious of it and tried not to do it, but then didn't give a fuck down the line. Who knows?
I mean, when you're going against Kozlov, would you give a fuck?
No.
Dude, I told you, he just buried his ass in the slowest 14-minute match you ever
Yeah.
watched.
And then
So-
that headbutt spot.
So Triple H is there with Ric Flair. Ric Flair's looking kind of goddamn young here, but this is like so you see the birth of Evolution coming.
I mean, that's fucking 18 years ago,
Well,
so if
that's-
anything,
that's the
Ric Flair
weirdest
looked
thing of me.
young.
The worst thing with me is because I was always like I didn't watch a whole lot, and then I was 10 when this came out, so there's that. But then, so were you. But like, you were a WCW person.
I
never
was.
really watched WCW. I got a lot of my information from WCW from either the top 10 YouTube videos and the wrestling videos I watch on YouTube, or from whatever you said or you said. I didn't watch a lot of WCW.
I love WCW.
So
I
my
loved it more
first
than
real-
WWE.
The point, wrapping it back around, you saying Flair looks young. I thought he was old because I didn't know who he was.
Woo!
When this started.
He looked young as
This
fuck.
motherfucker right here didn't know who Ric Flair was.
I didn't really know who he was.
I know, I'm joking with you.
The
But, then,
Nature
but,
Boy.
but it's not hard to understand because, like, when I was 10 years old, he was all over the place. Here, he's just in one spot and with one guy. He's not, at the top of the card. Or
He was coming all over the place
He had-
with
he
me
had got-
when
he
I
had-
was 10.
He
He was what?
He was being all over the place when I was 10.
See, you were watching WCW though.
Not at 10. On 10, I was watching fucking WWE.
Oh, yeah,
that was
'cause
all
he
I was
here.
there.
But like I'm saying, like when he showed up in WWE.
Yeah, when I was
they
a
did
kid,
all
I
that.
was watching him all the time when I was like 6, 7.
But that's the point I'm getting at. When he showed up in WWE, was like the first real time. I was like, oh, Ric Flair, and then they explained who he was. I'm like, okay.
I watched the last Nitro. That was cool.
All right,
But, like, that's-
I forget what the question was asked to Triple H, but But-
Probably like, how do you plan to win?
yeah, so
Take out Shawn Michaels.
Basically, Triple H says that he was deemed the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw. He's put everybody down in front of him.
Yeah, that one shouldn't count.
He's the best. He's beaten everybody, and yet he still has to compete in the Elimination Chamber. And he shrugs that off by saying, "Hey, look, I know I'm on a one-way ticket to hell, but I'm still going to walk out World Heavyweight Champion,
Facts.
Okay, so I just said you said he was gifted, or whatever.
deemed."
Deemed champion.
He was gifted.
Okay, so yeah, he was gifted. So it counts as a world title ring because he was gifted title.
Yes, sir.
So same thing happened with Randy Orton at No Mercy 07. He won the title, lost it to Triple H. Triple H faced Umaga, then lost it back to Orton at the end of the night. So Orton got 2 of his WWE championships in one night, even
Yep.
though he was gifted it once. I don't like the idea of just giving somebody a title, so I don't think that one's a guy. This would be an asterisk next to that one.
Oh yeah, always. I mean, like,
Well, technically, they claim that Triple H had that match against Flair at the end of Raw that night for that World Heavyweight title, and they counted as that as a quote-unquote title match.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
then
'Cause
Randy
Triple
Orton's
H was
title
the
reign,
last-
then Randy Orton's title reign shouldn't have counted from No Mercy.
I agree, but because Ric Flair was the last remnants of that particular
belt.
title.
yeah, there's no one alive who knows Ric Flair where you want to put those two things together. You think of the big gold belt, you're going to think Ric Flair.
You think Ric Flair, you can think the big gold belt.
True.
All right,
Yeah.
anyways,
Then
to
we-
the match.
So, beforehand, Eric Bischoff,
Yeah, to
for
the
like
match.
the 5,000th time. I'm sorry I have to go through this again. He had the more hype for the match. I mean, like,
I'm
The
back.
Elimination Chamber makes his 5th or 6th
yeah,
mention.
he's out there like tapping it with like I don't know what the fuck he had, like
a pipe.
a pipe or something. Saying, however, I guess with the first time you see it, you have to establish what it is and how it sounds, and that it is steel. It's not the padding it is now.
I'd say this is probably great the first time I saw it. 'Cause I'm like, oh, they explained it to me. But like that's this being like my 6th or 7th time watching this fucking match. I'm like, I've seen this. If I was watching this and we weren't doing it as a review of the whole show as a package,
Yeah.
I would have skipped right to the match.
I would have too.
But and
Just
I've
hitting
only-
his pipe on the chain.
I never saw this pay per view. In fact, I watched this match after the fact, and it never showed any of the hype stuff here,
Yeah, but the thing is if you had seen a chamber match before,
Which you hadn't.
which I had.
which you have,
Oh, I had.
Well, now you have.
yeah, now that you have in real life time, seeing this is like, come on, it's too much. Back then, you would have been like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
I do these reviews based off the time it happened. This is the first ever Elimination Chamber match, so it makes perfect sense for him to come out there and gloat about all the rules.
yeah,
and
so
the
I'm
way
not
it
going to
works.
hate on it just because
Yeah.
of that.
Unfortunately, I mean, I'm just being honest, and when I'm watching it right now, I'm going like, okay, I know.
It's like the rules. It's like to the
I
point.
know, I know it's gonna happen.
When you gotta say the rules and ahead of
Well,
time in the Rumble.
It's to the point we had to talk about Survivor Series matches and the Rumbles.
Did
Like,
I- yeah.
Literally, these matches are the exact same. They don't change, and you
Yeah.
do them every year.
That's the part that pisses me off is when there's multiple Survivor Series matches. You need to say the rules before every single one. It's like, fuck you, you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if this was like the Elimination Chambers back in the day where they had like 2 or 3 a night, and every single one right before somebody would come out there and tell you what happens, even though you just watched one?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
wait,
mean,
Fucking
wait.
Bischoff.
This one you have
Um,
to pin them in the ring.
so we'll say though, there's a little bit. So there's a little bit of trivia. Eric Bischoff says that the whole cage was made of 2 miles of chain and 10 tons of steel. So I thought that was interesting to say. Okay, fine, no problem. And then he goes over the rules. And does anybody here? Do we need to recite the rules?
No,
Everybody listening? Okay.
please.
Come on, Albert, recite the rule.
Well, might as well.
Please don't. If you do it,
okay,
it the dullest
and
way possible.
So then he leaves the ring, and then Howard Finkel comes in and introduces all the competitors.
So Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight title. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, whose theme song was sang by Saliva, called King of the World.
Saliva appearance number 7.
Then we had Booker
Word
T
winner.
versus Rob Van Dam versus Kane. RVD and Triple H start off the match. RVD does a heel kick to Triple H. RVD backdropped Triple H onto the steel. RVD keeps throwing Triple H into the chains. RVD does a monkey flip to Triple H. And RVD does a rolling thunder to Triple H, who's outside on the steel still. Chris Jericho comes out and grabs RVD's leg. Or actually, Chris Jericho grabs RVD's leg when he's going onto the top of the chamber pod.
Yeah, it falls through.
RVD does a somersault to Triple H. RVD does a spinning heel kick to Jericho. RVD does a crossbody to Jericho off of the chains, Spider-Man-like. Jericho does a
spot.
backdrop to RVD. Triple H does the high knee to RVD. Jericho and Triple H then keep slinging RVD into the chains. They literally like 4 times,
Hour and 5.
3 times on the metal bar and 1 time on the actual chains itself. Triple H has a DDT to RVD, which RVD always sells the DDT very well, so it looks amazing.
One of the best.
Booker T does a kick to RVD. RVD does a heel kick to Booker T. RVD does a drop kick to Jericho. RVD does a 5-star frog splash to Triple H off of the top of the pod
Ouch.
and kills his trachea.
Yeah, hey, this is, you notice it for the rest of the match.
Yeah, Triple H is trying to avoid some contact for a little while. That's for sure.
Booker T does a top rope drop kick to RVD. Jericho does a bulldog to Booker T. Booker T does a 6 spine buster to Jericho. Kane does a backdrop to Jericho. Kane then launches Jericho into the steel and then launches his ass into the pod. Kane does a choke slam.
that later.
Kane does a choke slam to Booker T. Jericho does a lion salt to Booker T.
Bye-bye.
Kane does a big boot to Jericho. Shawn Michaels does a forearm to Kane. Kane does a double choke bomb to Jericho. Kane does a choke slam to Jericho, Triple H, and Michaels.
Who? HB Karen?
HB
Nice.
Karen.
If you watch the match, you'll understand.
Sweet chin music, pedigree, and lion salt combo to Kane. So everyone's doing their moves to Kane. Jericho does a backdrop to Michaels onto the steel. Jericho does a bulldog and a lion salt to Michaels. Michaels does a moonsault to Jericho. Michaels then does the walls of Jericho to Jericho.
Walls of Jericho to Jericho?
Triple H does a DDT to Jericho.
Sounds so weird.
Triple H does a face buster to Jericho. Triple H then attempts a pedigree, which gets reversed into the walls of Jericho to Triple H. Michaels does a sweet chin music to Jericho. Triple H does a spine buster to Michaels. Triple H gets slingshotted Michaels into the pod.
Yeah.
Triple H does the face buster to Michaels. Michaels does the elbow off the top of the pod to Triple H. Triple H has a pedigree to Michaels.
Ass kicked. Jesus.
Michaels does a sweet chin music to Triple
They both
H.
did, though.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels wins his first and only World Heavyweight Championship in WWE.
And last World Championship in WWE.
Yeah. God
Boom.
damn. My initial takeaway was Triple H got his ass kicked.
I would say Triple H is the toughest son of a bitch in this
Yes, he
match.
is.
And Kane does the Kane bump.
And the
Yeah.
cane bump. And Michaels does the cane
and
bump.
Bulletproof Glass.
Yes, he does.
And apparently Bulletproof Glass can be easily broken by humans.
Just don't shoot me.
By human flesh.
Just don't shoot at it.
Just don't shoot at it.
That's what it is. If you shoot at it, you're not going to get anywhere. But you can throw people through it.
Triple H, if no one ever respected Triple H for anything, you respect him after this match.
If anything, I'm guessing if it wasn't in any other match, and this match wouldn't have played out if Trips had to leave the match. So he's like, I can do this, probably. Like, he's like, no. Like, they probably would have called it off or called him out of it.
Right.
But this moment, this match, and what needed to happen.
I think he wanted to be the first guy to let everybody know how dangerous the steel is and the chains and all that. That's why RVD whipped his ass for like 5
But the
minutes.
stupid thing is,
The
stupid thing is he got hurt on just an elevated move that RVD does all the time.
True, but it's also like higher up.
Yeah, that's it, elevated.
Yeah.
But then he did it again later when he let Sean do the elbow drop.
Okay, but so before I rate the match, I want to go over the eliminations. I'm going to have to do that, so I apologize. So we already knew that Triple H and RVD started it. Chris Jericho was the third guy out, so it's ironic that the first 3 guys in the match are the last 3 to be there.
Well, RVD was not.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yes, RVD was
Sorry.
eliminated
HB
first.
Karen was in there.
Forget what I just said. Scratch it from the record, please. Thank you.
What record?
Booker T was the 4th guy out, followed by Kane, and then finally Shawn Michaels. RVD was the first guy out. He got eliminated by Booker T, who hit him with a missile dropkick. Both Booker T and Kane were eliminated by Chris Jericho via a line assault.
Yeah.
I have a theory about that.
Even though Shawn Michaels kicked out of it.
I'm wondering if Chris Jericho got those 2 pins because Triple H had his throat fucked up.
Possibly, but I also think it works out better because it shows how good Shawn Michaels, or how much more of a star Shawn Michaels is. Because if Kane and Booker go down to it, and then Shawn gets his ass whipped and he gets it, he kicks out. They're like, oh, Shawn's a real player in this.
There you
match.
go. And well, he's the world champ, so there you go. And then both Chris Jericho and then Triple H were eliminated via super kick. And I want to say now, like again, we all know wrestling is scripted, but I love it when the camera is in the right spot to get over a certain spot. Oh, I'm sorry, the right place to get over a certain spot. And when Shawn Michaels came out and nailed Triple H with a super kick, the camera was right behind Triple H, so you can see Triple H take that bump, and you see his head snap back, and he just fell flat in his back, and then the camera goes right to Michaels going to pin him. I thought that was a great looking sequence. It was made even better by the way the cameras were angled. So.
I was going to talk about how hubris was a thing because Triple H had to be the one to pin Michaels. And that's why him and Jericho stopped working together, because he pulled Jericho off the pin because he had to be the one to pin.
Hubris.
So there you go. Also, it was weird because I think Jericho had Triple H in the walls of Jericho, and then Michaels super kicked Jericho and then pinned him.
Yeah.
Is that hubris or not? Because like you're saying earlier, that
I think it
matters not who's getting eliminated as long as they are.
I think the Triple H, it's the same kind of concept. I think it was more blatant with Triple H though.
Yeah.
I think Shawn's just like, all right, I'm gonna take my shot, take him out. Trips is hurting.
Yeah.
So you take out the guy who's hurting, because Trips is hurting. He's in a submission.
Yeah.
The difference between Shawn being down and getting pinned and him pulling Jericho off.
If I'm Chris Jericho, if I'm in his spot, I want Triple H to be out of the match
Yeah, I would too.
versus Chris Jericho, and then he beats Chris Jericho.
Facts.
Another camera.
If you're Shawn Michaels.
another-
You said if you're Chris Jericho, you want Chris Jericho out of the match.
Oh, if I'm Michaels, sorry. Another camera spot was when RVD did the Spider-Man. The camera was right there, perfect. Loved it. I mean, this match is like going on really well, and it's just guys wanting to go out there and beat the shit out of each other to get over this gimmick. Unfortunately, they killed the gimmick within 5 minutes of Kane coming into the match. Because how you can sit there and say it's bulletproof glass and then throw somebody through it? Come on. It's the same thing when Kane came out and took the door off the Hell in a Cell, which was deemed you can't escape from it, and no one can get in. I'm sorry, that killed a point and a half right there.
I think you're overhyping that one.
Overhyping what?
You're putting too much into that one. They're gonna lie. They always lie. They say 20-foot ladder. The ladder's only like 12 feet tall.
Well,
they do it every time with like. Every
I know,
guy.
but like it still bothers me one way or the other.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I mean, but like the match is still 8.5 in my book.
Oh, it's a 10.
10.
I don't like it when you kill a gimmick right when it comes out, and I don't. To me, it buried the gimmick.
It's 10.
I get that. You buried the lead.
You buried the lead like right in the first match. You can't sit there and say it's bulletproof glass And-
No. You want to talk about them burying the gimmick? They buried the gimmick in the next one.
Okay, but like so, going back to your ladder reference, I mean, no one's really going to look at a ladder and care if it's 20 feet versus 12. It's still going to have this desired effect.
I was gonna say they bloat
So-
and lie about all those things.
I know. I mean, they fudge attendance records, but you're not going to sit there and try to count it on a screen either.
And
That'd be
most of-
hilarious if you did.
Yeah. So like,
1, 2,
so,
3.
but then you see the first thing you see in the first match of the things, first match these things ever existed in, and you see the gimmick get okay. I'll say okay. I'll rescind the word buried. It got a nice little black mark attached to it.
Okay. I'd say put an asterisk up there.
Asterisk, whatever you want to call it. It's not bulletproof anymore.
What if this happened? What if Bischoff came out there instead of having that steel pipe, he pulled the gun out, shot the glass, and it didn't break because it was bulletproof, and then Jericho got thrown through it? Would it really prove the point there that it was actually
I
still
guess.
bulletproof glass?
I guess, sure. I mean, it's also plexiglass, so plexiglass is not bulletproof because
Yeah.
it's not glass.
Yeah, definitely not bulletproof, I'll tell you that.
So like
The ones at my work break all the time.
WWE told me plexiglass is bulletproof.
Yeah.
It breaks
I'd
all
say-
the time.
I'd say not even do the bulletproof thing at all. You don't need to put that in there to sell this kind of thing. All you got to do is have the guys bump around enough to
They
get
just want to
that-
make it sound dangerous.
I think the other
I know,
stupid-
but
I
it's
think
called
the
an
other-
elimination chamber for a reason.
I think the other stupid, like to that point though, the other stupid part about using bulletproof is why use the word bullet at all?
bullet resistant.
I'm gonna say why use it at all?
I know,
this
right.
Is, this is the world of wrestling. And when's
Yeah.
the last time you've seen a gun in
Correct.
the world of wrestling?
Brian Pillman's got a gun.
That's what I said. It's the last
Brian's
time.
got a gun.
I say, when was the
The
last
one
time?
that the fucking one that almost got Raw thrown off the USA Network.
Yeah, that's true.
The Bang 360.
Oh, the Bang 316 hour.
yeah,
That's the one that-
I
that's
think
the one that came to my mind.
You just pissed your pants.
yeah. As far as I remember, Vince McMahon got a stern talking to about that. And
But then they had the segment with the bang gun where Austin had the gun against Vince's head, was gonna shoot him, and it just says bang.
Yeah,
yeah, Bang 316. Yeah, and then yeah, pisses his pants. And that was mid '98.
Something like that. And that was after Pillman has a gun.
Yeah,
that's
well,
only 4 years before this. So I guess that doesn't really work for me because 4 years later they're doing this and they're talking about bulletproof. Like if
So,
you're
yeah.
doing it now, and he's like, when's the last time you saw a gun?
However, though, despite my ratings for these matches, this pay-per-view is a 10 out of 10. It was great.
I should rephrase this because technically, if it wasn't for the bulletproof spot, if he didn't say bulletproof, this would have been a 10. Because
Yeah.
he said it was a 1.5.
Yeah.
So I'm going to count this as a third 10 for everybody.
Okay. I mean, the technicalities, that's fine. But this whole pay-per-view was a 10 out of 10 for me because every match was good.
Oh yeah, go
At
and,
least very good.
There's a reason I wanted to watch this show.
Yeah.
go and watch this show.
Good. Even the pre-show. Even some of the segments are okay.
I even watched
Yeah.
Scott Steiner have one moment that was actually good in the second
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, so
Belly to belly suplex. Boom.
so there you go.
It was good.
All right, and then next week we will be back with a different kind of special because Albert is not going to be here in person.
Different kind of setup in general.
Yep. So we're gonna do some Undertaker stuff.
Yeah, some other things. Yeah.
Undertaker special.
Yeah.
Well, you guys suck with those specials, man. Forever.
Rest in peace.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.